All right, guys, it's your girl Anaya A, and I am live now. For those that are waiting to call in, just give me a few minutes. You will be able to zoom on in. If you want your cameras on, great. If not, don't worry about it. I get it. And I'm back live on YouTube as well. For the past few weeks, months, etc., I have been recording and then uploading on YouTube. So I'm happy to be live on YouTube again. So tell a friend, Anaya A is back on live. Hold on, let me fix that here. Hold on right there. Whew, child, it's been a long day. So wherever you're watching from, let me know. Real quick shout outs to a great day, a great event that was spent in the community of Brooklyn, my old stomping ground. So if you were there this afternoon, raise your hand, join me live now. We have so much to discuss this evening, but the main three topics I want to get into before I play this song is basically this elitist behavior that we have that pisses me off. Remember earlier on Facebook, I shared with the community and my friends on Facebook that I would be talking about elitist behavior and how stupid this woman was earlier. And with that being said, we're going to talk about her behavior, but we're also going to go a step further and we're going to talk about the community in which we live in, and we're going to talk about abortion rights. So somebody is going to be calling in who has a lot more information nature. So stay tuned for that. And in the interim, I'm going to play an opening song for you, as a dear friend and a beloved soldier passed away this past week, as we know, last week. And it's, oh my God, it's already going to be a week because time flies so day to celebrate. And that's how I truly feel. I truly feel that any day above ground is a beautiful day. And look at that, as the cheer live. That's me, honey. So let's play this song and let's come back.
Haïti, c'est belle mer, c'est belle montagne, bel paysage, belle coulée. C'est sans la route, c'est fait poser, ouvre les idées à bougeonner. Haïti, c'est pas simple, cascade bichon avec sodo, c'est Acaribo. Haïti, c'est la selle, Big Macaya, c'est Mamlade à Pondilbobo. Haïti, son gigolet qui court en force, son bouteille cola bien glacée, taillon dans ta sauce, son bon legging avec son bon tiri avec la noix, son bon cassab avec un bas, cacampé dans la casse. Haïti, son bon dombrec à mariner, non bon sauce poisson, bois cochon, bon clé. Haïti, son bon café d'histoire. Haïti, j'ai jamais aimé. When we live together, Haïti, jamais doré, quitté. Haïti, jamais aimé. When we live together, Haïti, jamais doré. Haïti, son belle musique, son bon à pied, son troubadour, son kata, c'est remote.
All right, bear with me. We're buffering. You know, I just got a request for us to play another song by Mr. Mika Ben. And just as that request came in, this song started to buffer. That is so strange. Give me 1 second, guys. Wow. Sis, I don't know if you're watching, but literally just as you said, play the other song.
Son kwashillon, son tambour. Haïti, c'était au bout, c'est des ancêtres qui étaient pour nous, c'est là l'esclave.
So we're going to play Marry Me, which is another powerful song by Mika Ben. For those that are wondering, who is Mika Ben? Mika Ben is a big brother, a friend, this past Saturday. So this is an English song by Mika Ben, which is his actual marriage. So we're playing Marry Me. You can watch live on Anaya A page on Facebook.
I found the one to hold me down, to be my lady, wear the crown. I found the one to make me whole again, make me whole again. That special one, when it gets loud, it's baby, that special one is you. Down on my knee, I'm asking you. Don't be afraid, follow your dreams. Will you marry me? Let me be who fulfills. Marry me. Don't be afraid, follow your dreams. Will you marry me? Will you be mine till the end of time? En vertu des pouvoirs qui me sont conférés par l'État haïtien, je vous déclare mari et femme. Marry me. Will you be mine till the end of time? I found the one to make me proud, to give me children, without a doubt. I found the one to make me whole again, to make me whole again. That special one, she's around, she keeps me sober, above the crowd. Baby, that special one is you. Down on my marry me. Don't be afraid, follow your dreams. Will you marry me? Let me be who will marry me. Don't be afraid, follow your dreams. Will you marry me? Will you be mine till the end of time?
And I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm Mercy. I don't even have words. I don't even have words to discuss how I feel, how I've been feeling. I'm actually in the process of writing somebody a message who wants me to come out this weekend to an event and things of that nature. And I just can't do it. I cannot go to another thing. Granted, I've been at a few different events these past couple of weeks, but like to be in a space to prepare to actually, you know, do more than just showing up these days is so hard for me. So for all those that are watching tonight, thank you for tuning in. And I pray that wherever you are, you're having a blessed night. Because listen, life is short. Life is so short. And that's why tonight I wanted to come live, because if you follow me, you know, like every year, the day before my birthday, I'll post like messages and quotes, or like I'll go live, and that happens like literally every year, because sometimes on my birthday I'm not able to go live. My birthday is tomorrow, and just real quick, let me finish sending this message. Let me know where you're writing from. Share this post with a friend and let them know you're live on the Anaya A show. Now, if you want to join Anaya A, I'm gonna open up the lines at 10:15, but I do have a special sister coming on at 10:10. But if you want to join, you can dial in 436-903-4585. Again, 436-903-4585. Look at all these flyaways. Hey, hair. Hey, what is going on with the hair this evening? Again, 436-903-4585. It's your girl, Anaya A, and I'm live and I'm lit tonight because I have energy this evening. I don't have King. King is at home with his father, and I'm taking a break this evening and sharing some thoughts, but also getting some work done. And so with that being said, I wanted to share that again, the phone lines will be opening up, or the Zoom lines will be opening up at 10:15, but at 10:10, I have a sister coming on live. I had to do this because of something that occurred today. I'll go into details in a moment. I didn't even know. Okay. Okay, so join me. Okay, so literally join me at 10:15 at 436-903-4585. Again, my special sister will be coming on at approximately 10:10 to share some thoughts. So tonight, the topics literally are as follows. We're talking about some really serious stuff, right? We're talking about elitist behavior. We're talking about the community, and in general, what that looks like for you, for me, for us, people of color. And we're talking also about abortions and abortion rights. I know this is heavy. It's like 3 different topics that should not be on the same page, but it is type deal because they all need to be addressed. And the number one thing that I had to, address is this elitist behavior, because I have a story for you guys, right? So today I'm on my way to a meeting. So funny, I'm on my way to a Republican meeting. Yeah, I said it, Republican meeting. Anaya A typically does not do anything Repub, but today I had to do something Republish because I wanted to know what were the Repubs talking about. And I tell the story often that a very long time ago, a few years ago. A few years ago, I had a sister who shared with me, and she's a Black Repub, and she literally shared with me, Anaya A, stop thinking that we all should be Democrats. And I'm like, what? Like Black people should be Democrats because, the funding, the housing, the this, the that. In my mind, I was like quoting, reasons why I thought Blacks should be Dems, right? And then she was like, well, Anaya, if none of us are Republican, how are we going to know what's happening on the other side? How are we going to have our input? How are we going to be able to work with those that are in power and doing Republican type stuff? And she made the most valuable point I had ever heard. So I really don't talk about that conversation often because I don't want people to know, like, I secretly don't think all Repubs are horrible. And I'm like not a Repub hater at all. But let's be honest, like Trump was a Repub and he really, was anyway. So because of that, I'm very cautious and I'm very careful as to how I share information about the meetings I go to, the places I attend, or whatever, the meetings I attend, the places I go to. And what happened today was on my way to this freaking meeting with the Repubs, I'm getting on the train with my son. Yes, my son was in attendance at a political meeting on today. Yes, he was, because I don't trust people enough to leave him alone. His father doesn't trust people enough to leave him alone with just anybody. We have a little crew now. We have, certain people that we trust, but it's like still like, it's a baby. He's 4 months. So as I'm about to get on this train, right? Here comes this woman, she's actually holding the train for me. She's being nice, but she's kind of looking at me in a way, right? And she's a white woman and her child is like biracial or like Indian looking adopted type deal. Long story short, this white woman was like, yeah, holding the train or whatever, which was really nice of her. And then I was like, I'm so sorry, because I was like rushing to the elevator because I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know that there was an elevator there because I never needed an elevator because I literally always walked up and down the steps at this particular stop. And she's like, yeah, and I didn't even realize it either because I don't live here anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, just trying to be friendly. Where do you live now? And she's like, Switzerland. And the way she said it and did it, I was like, oh, Switzerland, what part? She looked at me up and down like I had 16 heads. And I'm like, yeah, I said it, what part? And before she could open her big, stupid mouth, because she's a stupid elitist, I was like, I have family in Switzerland. I know Switzerland very well. And then she definitely looked at me again like, how dare you know anything about Switzerland? Why? Because it's the richest country in the world. Really? So I looked at her up and down. I was like, oh, what part again? She's like, we live in, I don't know, in the capital, I think, because the capital of Switzerland is actually not even Zurich. The capital, if I'm not mistaken, starts with a B, like Air or Bain or whatever. It's not very known because everybody assumes Zurich is the capital, which it's not. So I'm gonna double check real quick. But the capital of Switzerland is like, starts with a B. So she lives there and she's actually moving to Zurich. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah, that's where the major airport is. And my family lives in, Vernea, Switzerland. So when I said that, tell me why old girl got even more snobbish and literally walked away from me as the train, it's Bern. I knew it was like B something. Bern is the capital of Switzerland, okay? And she walked away from me, this white woman, with like a biracial kid. If the kid is not biracial, right? The kid is definitely adopted from like, India. And she like tossed her hair and gave me an attitude. And so earlier today, if you guys remember, I put up a post like, remind me to tell you the story about the elitist behavior. Now, why is it important for me to share that, right? Some people are so ignorant, and I don't mean ignorant in the way that a lot of people think. I mean ignorant in the sense where they feel like they're on top of the world, they have everything going for them, and other people shouldn't be in their spaces. Why would you think I know nothing about Switzerland? Because I'm a Black woman in Brooklyn, or heading to Brooklyn from the city, because I was leaving the city going into Brooklyn. Is it because of how I'm dressed? Is it because I have this jewelry on? Is it because, I have a big wide nose with a freaking nose ring? Or is it because of the nails? Which one is it, white lady? Which one is it? Why should I not know anything about Switzerland, right? If she would have understood, right, the dynamic, you can't judge a book by the cover, then she would have brought herself from High Holy Land, or maybe the Swiss Alps, right? Brought herself down to normalcy and realized, bitch, you ain't the only one out here traveling, to say it in layman's terms, because you're an IA, that's a little ghetto sometimes. Because why? I can't. I know Switzerland like the back of my hand because my family lives there, literally. And you know what's so funny? A few weeks ago, I had a conversation with a white boy at a bar, and we were about to have wine at a bar. And I was like, you look like my cousin, also who lives in Switzerland. And he looked at me like I had 45 heads, because how dare I say that I have a cousin whom resembles this white boy? And I'm like, bro, like, what is wrong with these people? So a lot of times, and this is not to cause offense to anybody, any of my white friends, because people often think I have like hatred towards white people or I'm racist. And that's not the case at all. My problem with white people a lot of times is they're racist towards us. They don't think Black people should be in their spaces. They don't think Black people or Caribbean people or whatever people that are darker than them should know anything about anything that they know. They feel like they should be the only ones in these particular sectors, or look a certain way, or live in communities where we are typically not, because they want to be elitist. They want to feel like they're alone in these spaces, and they don't want us to have access. But ding dong, racist lady, you are pushing a carriage with a little dark child heading in the same direction I am. Life is funny. And I'm going to look back a year from now, and I hope I remember this to the T, because sometimes I forget my stories, but thankfully I get to record certain things so I could have them as memories, right? Because that irked me so bad. If she only would have taken the time to understand, I have a college education. I studied abroad in London, England. I've traveled to more countries probably than she has. My family has lived in Switzerland. And I'm not talking about my mother and father, but I'm talking about my Haitian mother that helped my Haitian aunt get to Switzerland almost 30 years ago. And she's been living in Switzerland ever since with her really wealthy, white, European, Swiss attorney husband. My aunt was a nurse in Haiti, left Haiti to be a nurse in Switzerland because her girlfriend told her that there were more opportunities in Switzerland than in Haiti or America. So she didn't go over there tricking like a hoe. She didn't go over there trying to suck on something to become a rich and wealthy Black woman living off of a white man either. She was educated, and her education and her mind attracted her husband to her. So if the white lady on the train heading to Brooklyn ever sees this or actually hears of this story, yes, I'm talking to you, ma'am. Yes, I was pushing King in the stroller right next to you as you pushed your little dark child in your stroller, and we were both getting on the elevator as we both just got off the train, and we both were going into Brooklyn. But the funny part is I never looked down on you, because you sure look like you were not from Switzerland. Because if you don't know anything about the fashion in Europe, you missed the mark. And that's all I have to say about that. Because a lot of times I could go deeper and break people down in such a way, I don't have to, because I watch and I listen. And the thing about me is I actually give a damn. So while you're putting your nose up at me thinking that I should not know anything about Switzerland, honey, go look at some of my pictures on Facebook. Go to some of my albums. And I'm done trying to impress people because you know what? I used to do that a lot back in the day. Let me show you this and let me show you that, where I've been and who I am. But you know what? If you don't believe me, I say God deal. Racist salopette. All right, I'm off of my soapbox. So with that being said, we're going to be discussing a few more topics, and I'm so glad to be alive as I will be 40 years old tomorrow. Drum roll, please. And as I continue to build my platform and my brand, I want to say I'm just so thankful today. You know, before she comes on, sis, come on, where are you? Let me say this, right? For the past few months, like, you know, like almost a year or whatever, like even before I got pregnant with King, I was on this thing like, oh my God, I'm gonna be 40. Hopefully I'll be alive. If you guys remember last year, I was about to be 39. And I was going into surgery last year for my birthday. Yes, I was. I was actually going to surgery. Hold on, let me make sure my necklace is okay. Yeah, there we go. I was going into surgery last year, right? So as I was going into surgery, like I was just like done with life. I was like, oh my God, another surgery, whatever, whatever. But of course I came out of that okay. Then I ended up, you know, pregnant with my miracle baby. So I say that to say, all year I've been on this thing in my mind, and one other person knew about it, but they missed the mark and they dropped the ball, but that's neither here nor there. I was wanting to do like this thing where somebody recognized my incredible like works, giving back as an activist, like fighting for causes, you know, helping individuals in the community, which I often do. And I never get the accolades for it, but I never asked for the accolades. But in my mind, I was like, somebody, anybody, please just recognize me 40 under 40 as an activist, as somebody who fights hard and who gives back. Can somebody recognize my efforts? And you know what? It finally dawned on your girl, Anaya, peep game, guys, that God recognized my efforts. And I stopped wanting that like acknowledgement from others. And I finally realized that I could give that acknowledgement to myself, because ultimately God acknowledged me by allowing me to not be barren again or anymore or whatever, because clearly God blessed me 40 under 40 with a baby. So I think that my biggest reward as a 40-year-old, and another thing, I wanted to have like a super big birthday party. I mean, because who makes it to 40 anymore? Like honest to God, I was talking to Mama Von Sil actually this evening. I called her for her birthday because her birthday is a day before mine. And then as you guys know, I celebrate my birthday with a lot of people on my, you know, on the 22nd of October. I have a lot of 22 babies on October, you know, 22nd or whatever. I called her this evening and she was like, because I told her about the death of Mika Ben and how it's been so much going on in my life or whatever. And she said, girl, me too. She knows exactly what I mean, because people seem to keep on dying. But my plight and my desire is to keep on living. So with that being said, okay, even though I didn't get any awards for being 40 under 40, okay, I pat myself on the back like this. I'm gonna pat myself on the back, and pat. Okay, I'm gonna pat myself on the back because I really honor the work that I've done, and I've never asked anybody for any acknowledgement. Matter of fact, I'm the type of person, you don't acknowledge me, no problem, whatever. But it's like a secret fantasy of mine, right? Like, oh my God, I wish somebody would acknowledge, but that's okay. And then the whole part remains that I do so much work and I've given so much, but guess what? Again, God honored me. So with that being said, I didn't have to have a party this year, which I wanted, but that's okay. I didn't have to be acknowledged because God acknowledged me, and I have a beautiful little boy who stole my whole face. So I have to be reminded every day because King has my face. And for those that wonder, I'm going to put it out nationally. So King's name is not really King. That's just a part of his name, because everybody asks me, what's his name? What's his name? So his name is, ready for this, guys? Aim Nere Victor King Nikiema. I know, a whole mouthful. And that's why they done messed up on his birth certificate at the birth certificate the Brooklyn hospital where he was birthed. literally messed up on his birth certificate, and I still don't have a birth certificate for my son because I guess his name is too hard, I guess. Okay, with that being said, we are moving on. Hi, everybody. Thank you for sending your love on that good old Instagram. I hope you guys are doing well wherever you are. I'm not going to be here for too much longer. And I'm just waiting for my sister. Again, it was so good to see everybody this evening. I just am so blessed. I'm so blessed. Oh my God. Oh, I'm getting messages about Haiti. See, it's so funny. I didn't even see that earlier this evening. A sister reached out from Jersey to, let me know that she was thinking about me and Haiti. I'm telling you, Haiti and I are like synonymous. We're one and the same. People be reaching out, people be calling me. I get calls all day about the work that I do. So I'm thankful for that. So this year, I have a lot to be thankful for. Again, my son is the biggest blessing. And a lot of people are not able to still have children, which breaks my heavenly heart. But I'm just so thankful tonight. I'm just so thankful tonight. And I'm just so blessed. So if anybody wants to join me, please join me now. 436-903-4585. You're live with your girl, Anaya A, on the Anaya A Show. And we're talking about community. We're talking about this elitist behavior. Like I just said, this woman earlier just irked my nerve. But let's talk about community, right? As I wait for my sister to join us. Let's talk about community in the sense of today. For example, I went to this meeting, whereas this man is running for office. I don't even want to give a lot of acknowledgement to the particular people that are running for office in the Repub sector, because at the end of the day, something occurred not too long ago, right before I gave birth to King, and literally it just bothered me to my core. So I'm not going to spend too much time discussing what occurred, but I will say this, that we as a people should demand more. And when we do demand more, if we don't get it, walk away, because at the end of the day, other communities get what they ask for. So why is it that we're always at the bottom of the totem pole? If you have anything you want to add and share, let me know. Call in. I want to hear from you. Let me know where you're watching from as well. Because at the end of the day, I want people to understand something, okay? We as a people, we are always at the bottom of the totem pole. When I say we as a people, I mean people that look like you and me. If you're colored, then you know what I mean. And now it seems like the Hispanic community is garnering more attention, more resources, more help. And here's the funny part. Recently, there was a major scandal that broke out in California, for example, when the council people there were on record, being recorded, and saying some really awful things about the Black community. Now, I love my Hispanic people. I really do. I have so many Hispanic friends that actually love me, and they're very, very caring. But when I hear a community, right, disregarding the Black race in such a hypocritical and mean manner, it breaks my ever-loving heart. And the reason that I brought that up is because everybody that has a whole lot of money or more wealthy than us, or have, a substantial career, etc., always puts Black and brown people in the same box, right? And today this happened again. And I wanted to share that that's not happening anymore. Like, it seems like the Hispanic community, and the reference is going back to what happened in California just a few weeks ago. However, the recording was done a year ago. So I'm thinking that somebody is getting back at somebody for something that was done, right? Whether somebody wasn't paid off or whether there was an issue in the community, that's what happened. And that's why this recording is now out. I feel as though the people that put out this recording literally were getting back at those that are in city council for whatever reason. Now, I don't know who's going to replace these people, because as we know, and if you've been following the story, a lot of people are like quitting, people are recanting, people are, apologizing to the Black community, etc. But that does not take away from the fact that you guys have been marginalized and put in the same situation as the Black community. So why are you feeling like we are so much worse when we've worked so damn hard, right? More than any other race because we were enslaved for so long. Now that we're trying to get out of our situations, right? And mind you, don't forget, right? Freedom for Black people didn't come so easily, number one. And number two, may I add, it's only a few generations out. So the Hispanic community that's sitting up here stating that all those negative things about the Black people, shame on you. And the reason I could say that openly is because I have Hispanic friends that I know would never degrade our people in this manner. So let's talk about community. And let's put a pause on that as we take a sister who's coming on live with us. And if anybody else wants to come on live, please feel free to do so now. For those that are calling in, please refrain from calling in right now. I cannot pick up. I am live with the Anaya A Show on the Anaya A Show. My brother Kelvin is talking about speak. Thank you, boo. I so love what you do. You are the best. I love about speak. Thank you, boo. I so love what you do. You are the best. Hi, sis.
Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
I can't see you. Hold on.
Okay. I see you.
I'm gonna log off and then hold on. Here we go. There we go. Good to see you.
Hey, sis.
Hey.
Hey, I just got calls in. I'm getting messages. So real quick, my boy, before we even go into this next topic, my boy is writing me. He's like a big brother of mine from Atlanta.
Okay.
And he just reconnected with your girl. I've known him for 2 decades.
All
and
right.
I'm wondering what happened to him. So Kelvin, aka Butter Baby, is back on the scene and he is watching live out of Atlanta. I want everybody to show some love to my sister Trina and let us know where you're watching from. Trina, sister, how you feeling?
I'm okay. I just finished eating, so I feel
Wait.
better.
Wait, sis, what did you eat for dinner?
I had some wings because I gotta have meat in my life.
Wait, sis.
I mean, I don't eat beef or pork, but I gotta have chicken or fish. I gotta have some type of meat.
Well, let me ask you, you didn't eat the food from yesterday, sis?
You know I did, right?
you know, I had to do the whole turn. So real quick, before we get into this topic, I have goosebumps all over my body laughing at the fact that you reminded me of the food in the fridge. I can't wait to eat that salmon, sis. That's all I gotta say. Okay, moving on. Sister, so today we were together. I didn't share where we were or who we were with, but I'm gonna share this and I want you to take on the subject matter of abortion rights and things of that nature and why it's important for people to know what's happening presently. So today, sis and I were together, for those that are wondering, and sis needs to talk about something that's very heavy on her heart. And I'm gonna let her take over because she didn't have her chance today, but I'm giving her the chance and the spotlight now because somebody from that camp is watching. I feel it in my shamana, in my spirit. So I know somebody's watching, and I'm not gonna say who we were with today, but we were at a Repub event. Yeah. And sis, you know a lot about the abortion situation going on. And I want you to reintroduce yourself and talk about this situation.
Okay, well, I'm Trina Nicole, and I just want to tell you guys like a short story about abortions and things that I have witnessed throughout my life. So I grew up in a church, and the main religion was Pentecostal, and I remember the deacon of the church. He was staying with this woman who had children. Mm-hmm. And so he was sleeping with the woman, but he also slept with the 12-year-old daughter. I think she was like 12 or 13-year-old daughter. And so, like, I will never forget that this girl ended up carrying a child. And I believe that she wanted to have the abortion because of the trauma that she went through, because she was groomed, you know what I mean? And at 14 years old, you just don't know. You think you're doing something so good because you don't want to get anybody angry at that age, And I remember her being targeted, and people were saying that she was fast, and none of that was true, because she was totally the victim.
Yes.
And she ended up having the baby, and what they did with the guy is they just made him stand up in front of the church and apologize instead of going after him. So what happened? Wait, what did you point to?
Oh, no, sorry. I was just making sure I had the right number for people to call in, because people are sending us mad messages. So
Okay.
I'm just like, oh, true. Like, I'm just seeing everything now. And before you continue with the story, please tell people, if they don't know, what is groom meaning? Like, the meaning. I know what it is, but I want those out there to understand how serious this is. And sis, when you say groomed or grooming, when people is grooming somebody, what that means.
Okay, so what I mean by grooming is that there are molding these kids into these sexual behaviors that they're not even aware of.
Yes.
And I'm going to speak to you from an educational standpoint, because that is my strength, is in education. And so, what he did probably was like fill her up, and I don't want to really get into the details of the graphic, but
you can. No, you can. And I want you to, because here's why, and I want you to be as free as you need to be. Like, I'm getting goosebumps all over my body. It's a day before my birthday. I see you, sis, with the water, mineral water. I want you to be as free as possible, because, and I'm gonna share this, and I'm not gonna share this a lot, but I'm a victim myself. And I often don't talk about a lot of my traumas, but many Black young girls are victims. And I'm not going to go into too many details, but I want to say why I'm sharing this openly. And one day I'll be more open. But for right now, all you need to know is I'm a victim, but I'm not a victim in that sense, because I'm a victor. I overcame by being the person I am today. So why do I share that? Number one, a lot of times in our Black communities and families, we're taught not to say nothing. We're taught, if something happens, don't let nobody know. So first of all, we're traumatized by the fact that we can't even open our damn mouths about being hurt. So that's one. For two, what you're saying about grooming, that's something that happens a lot in the Black families when it comes to you not knowing that somebody touching you and telling you to shut up about it. That's a form of grooming. That's a form of manipulation. A lot of times our young people are like, getting touched and groomed and everything to do stuff for the future, which leads into sex trafficking and rape and molestation, and then also victim shaming, which is all in one sector. And I know this to be true too. So I had to stop and share that, because this is a serious situation that a lot of people don't talk about, but it's time to heal tonight. And if you have ever, and I'm putting it out there, have ever been a victim and you need to talk to somebody, you could talk to your girl Anaya A, and you could talk to Trina, Nicole, because we're freaking here. Enough is enough. Go ahead, sis.
So, where was I at?
Oh, about, you didn't want to go too much into
grooming. Okay, so the grooming starts off with, just touching her and touching on a kid, and you making them feel a way that they've never even felt before. Like they're not understanding these feelings at that age. And then it goes into, he's touching her in places, he's making her touch him in places.
And he's a grown-ass man who shouldn't do that.
Right. And then, it leads into a whole sexual thing. Now, when a person, and I just want to throw this out there too, is that I worked in high school, and a lot of those kids would tell me that they were molested as kids, and their sexual behavior was out of control because they didn't understand what was going on with them. Like, they didn't understand that they were victims. They just, they would just be like, you know what, it is what it is. And thank God, like, we have really great counselors at the school where I worked at that was able to work with them through it, and it's just that I say this, when an adult touches a child in a way, parents, make sure you have that relationship with your kids that they feel comfortable enough to come and tell you. That's number one. Number two, a lot of women, and I know back in the days, a lot of women would take their man's
Side.
word over their kids. And I just, I'm just a advocate for children, youth, and, women. And what I'm trying to get to as far as like the abortion thing is that young girl, I know that if she had that choice, that, and she loves her kids. Don't get me wrong. She had a child with him. She loves her child. But if she had that choice, I think that she probably would have made, I'm not sure, but it was there. But because of the church and all of them and, and what they believed and stuff like that, I really believe that this girl grew up with so much trauma, mental trauma, because when she look at that child, then it's making her think of the incident, you know what I mean? And when we went to today, this is what I'm hearing. But then when I got home and read about it, this guy says that he can't touch the abortion laws no matter what. Because my question that I was going to ask him was like, what is your stance on abortion? Because if there's rape or incest and stuff like that, those are terms for abortion. And, and I know like a lot of people that are in the church, they don't believe in abortions and stuff like that. But then those are the type of people that be like, oh, I don't believe in abortion. You're going to carry around that trauma, and that trauma is going to destroy you, because you can go to church all you want. And I'm saying this, and church people don't be mad at me. You could go to church all you want, and you could be like, you know what? I got God, this and that. You need healing.
Yes, you do.
You need healing. You need it. Let me tell you something. I need healing. Yes. We all need healing.
All of us. I need healing.
We need healing.
I need healing before I beat one of these crackheads up that's be smoking this K9 on the trains when we trying to take a train ride. But that's another day, another story. Go ahead, sis. We need healing.
So I'm, and I'm here to say, like, I got into like this whole big, I didn't even tell you, but I got into like, I'm in a group of, religious freedom fighters, and they're against abortion. And I had to explain to them, now, if that woman is raped, she brings a kid into the world, and that person turns into a serial killer. I was like, you got to think ahead. And I was like, why would y'all want to put that trauma on her? Why? The baby is beautiful and all the other stuff, but you just don't know what that baby might turn out to be in the long run. You never know if he's going to be one of those people that do mass shoot. You just never know. And that's why I'm like, I'm not saying I'm for abortions. I'm not saying I'm against abortion. What I am saying is that I'm pro everything.
Right.
I'm just pro. And at the end of the day, like I tell people, you have to do what's right for you. You can't do what other people want you to do. You have to make the decision, a conscious decision of you. You have to take care of you. Because all these people out here that are talking ain't gonna take care of you. And I'm wrapping it up on that. Any questions? Like, I'm here.
So let me ask you, sis, because I'm pretty sure the people want to know, and the people are sending in their comments. There's 18 comments, possibly 15, because I just wrote everybody like, I'm so sorry I didn't see none of these comments. So I'm going to read your comments, but if you want to join us live, please feel free to do so. Now, the reason I'm so adamant about you sharing the story, and you can see for yourself, because there's mad messages and stuff I didn't even realize.
I see Lakeisha's. I love it.
I gotta read sis, because sis got like 7 kids, so I know she's probably adamant about this story. Sis is younger than me. I want her to procreate and just repopulate the world. She's pregnant with twins. I can't wait to meet my niece and nephew. I cannot wait. Oh my God. So real quick, the reason I had you to share that so candidly, so openly, is because, sis, we're living in a time where people are trying not to share the truth. Like, people want to sugarcoat stuff. And we can't do that anymore. Like, when you first told me about that story, my heart was broken, because I know firsthand what it means to be around rapists and stuff like that, because there was a rapist in my father's side of the family, and I may get backlash on this. I'm not going to 100% detail, because one day I will, but I thought I was wilding out in my head, like I was imagining shit, but I was one of those little kids. I'd be under all the adults. That's why I'm the way I am today, because I'd be like, just like King. You see how King be like, let me find out the tea. That was me, because I always wanted to know more from the adults. So when I heard that this man, I think he's dead now, and he should be, was going around and raping and molesting all the little girls in the family, including his own daughters, I was like, oh, I didn't make this shit up. It's real. So at the end of the day, I was always taught not to say nothing. I was always taught like we have to keep family secrets to ourselves. But I'm gonna be 40 tomorrow, right? So I gotta be a little more open and share with you all as my viewers and my listeners that support me tremendously, that whatever has happened to us, yo, son, do not be ashamed. We didn't do it to ourselves. Furthermore, when you had first told me about that young girl, the fact that she was forced to have that child at like 12 to 14 or whatever that age grade was, I don't know if you recall what I asked you right after. I was like, sis, how did you feel about that?
I was young, so I really didn't understand what was going on, you know. And as I got older, and started working with kids that had went through that, it started to like broaden my horizons. And I just started being like really open-minded and empathetic to the things that we as women go through. And I just wanted to share one thing.
Go ahead, sis.
This is the icing on the cake for me, is that these women, stop trying to keep that man. If that man hurt your kid, let him, I can't even curse on your show. I can't do it. Let him go. Your kids is gonna be there for you when that man up and leaves you. If he decides that he wants to leave you today or tomorrow, your kids is gonna be there. So like at the end of the, and I'm really over people, especially women, protecting their sons from doing this. I can't curse on your show. I can't. They sons doing this to people in the family, to like little girls in the family. Like, stop covering up, because that girl that he done did that to, they are emotionally scarred. And guess what? They don't know how to handle this stuff. So guess what? Their anger is everywhere. And people be like, oh, she's crazy. She got an attitude problem. No, it's deeper than that. All right, let me stop.
Sis, you ain't never lied. And you know what you reminded me of? Let me just share this openly and publicly with the world. You know, me and my father, we be beefing. My father is an interesting character. But one thing I gotta say about Pops, and for those that know my family, for those that know my father, y'all know we have like this weird love-hate relationship. But one thing I gotta say about Pops, he came through for your girl. He came through. And I'll never forget that moment Pops came through. When everybody else tries to count you out, you need that one person that says, nah. So what you're saying, sis, is so real, because trauma breeds trauma. Like they say, hurt people, right? So trauma is like a manifestation of the pain and the hurt, right? But you choose to either put that trauma on somebody else or deal with it, fight those demons, and keep it bumping.
And I just want to add one more thing. You know, when you say hurt people, a lot of people that are being damaged and hurt and stuff like that, they don't understand that they're hurting the next person. So, you know, keep that in mind, especially when you're dealing with somebody that has dealt with something that's so traumatic. Just be very understanding and be empathetic, because, you know, listen, when that girl went through that, like I told you, it took me to get into my adult years to understand, because at the time I was a kid myself. I didn't understand it. Now that I'm older, and then, you know, speaking to her, she's such a beautiful soul. So such a beautiful, amazing.
How is she now? Let's talk about how she is, and how many children does she have now?
She has, I believe, 6 children. 6 children, but she's an amazing mom. Like she's such a beautiful soul. Like she's just so, even though she went through what she went through, she understands like a lot of the stuff, you know, within the church. Like she's understanding that a lot of it is, there's no truth to it. You know, you just rediscover some things about yourself, about the church and everything. And she's happy now. And that's all I've ever wanted for her, was hers to be happy.
6 kids. And I had to ask that because some people turn away from men after a situation like that. Some people become suicidal. Let's not hold you, or become unalived, or want to become unalived. Because I think a lot of times on YouTube and like Facebook and stuff, we are not supposed to say that S word, but it's the truth. And I speak against that word because I don't want nobody to unalive themselves. But understand, like, some people can't live with that trauma because and I don't know if we could talk about it, her mom. You told me something about her mother, and that was the most sickening part about the situation, because I know of young girls that went through this too.
I wanted to be pissed off with the mom, but then you got to understand, when you have no educational background, you don't know, certain things, you know what I mean? So like, my heart went out to the mom because she just didn't know. She didn't understand, she just didn't. And that's why I'm, on this platform tonight, and I'm speaking to a lot of these women out here. Stop covering for that man. Stop covering for your sons. Stop covering for your brothers. Stop covering for the uncles. Stop doing that. Because at the end of the day, you got a kid right here that's hurting. That's the most uncomfortable feeling, is for that kid, that young lady, or that little boy to come around the family when you have gatherings. Like, that is so uncomfortable for the kid. And it's like, y'all are ignoring his pain. So guess what? When y'all do that, that's when suicidal, that's when unaliveness and all that stuff kicks in. Y'all gotta pay attention. Be aware.
Be aware.
Sis, I just wanted to bring awareness.
You did it. You did it tonight. You did it, sis. Because I was like, I'm not letting the night go by without us talking about this. Leave your comments, send in your requests to be in communication with your girl Trina or your girl Anaya A if you need to be healed, or if you need somebody to talk to. Let me tell you something. I'll never forget 2, 3, 4 years ago, Lord help me with all these dates and stuff. Under the organization I have, FEG Management, I also have a nonprofit named Neighborhood Violence Survivors Alliance. And when I had shared what I went through, and I was standing next to Gloria Steinem and the rest of these beautiful advocates on the steps of City Hall, I'll never forget, there was a beautiful sister that came up to me with tears in her eyes after, and she said to me, and I have goosebumps all over my body, and I'm not going to get emotional tonight because we're stronger. She said, "Thank you so much, Anaya A, for sharing your story." I said, "Sis, no problem." She was crying so hard. She said, "Nobody ever believed me. Nobody ever believed me." She was living with this trauma and this pain for umpteen years. Nobody ever believed this sister, but you know what she did? She became a storyteller. She became a producer. She became somebody in media, peep game, because she utilized that pain for purpose. And she started telling everybody else's story. So sis, if you're out there watching, I don't remember your name. I remember your face. You're light-skinned, you have curly hair, you might be biracial. I think you're not from America because you may be from Europe. But either way, if you're watching your girl Anaya A, hit me up, because it's been like 3 years. I'll never forget that moment, because that's what it's about for me. You know, a lot of people do this for a check. A lot of people do this for recognition. But like I tell people, I do not do this for a check and recognition. When a woman can cry to you and hug you and say, "Thank you, you helped me heal today." I was on the steps of City Hall. I had Gloria Steinem right next to me. I had all these attorneys, all these advocates, and 100,000 cameras in my face. And afterwards, it was about that one young lady. Because when she held on to me, sis, I'm gonna not cry tonight. But a lot of people do this because they want the fame, they want the money. I'm telling my stories. I'm helping people like you are, sis, so that we can help people heal. Because when that one person says, "Nobody ever believed me. Nobody ever listens to me. And thank you." Hey. Because you know what? Let me tell you guys something real quick, and then I'm going to read these comments. Karma is real. And what people don't understand is when you do good in this world, it comes back. And I'm talking to you, YouTube, I'm talking to you, Facebook, I'm talking to you, Zoom, I'm talking to you, Instagram. When people do good in this world, it comes back. So the more I give and the more I bless, the more I know I'll be protected, but not just me. You know, I got a seed now, I got a son. And I know when God says, all right, my good and faithful child, your time on this earth is done. He's going to remember every single person I deposited into. He's going to remember everybody who helps us. He's going to remember us. And I'm speaking to each one of you. He's going to remember Kelvin. Let me tell you about Kelvin real quick. See, I told you a little bit about my past, sis, but there's certain people that know me and they know me real good. Kelvin is one of them. So Kelvin and the squad came up to me one day. We were all working together at the Hard Rock Cafe in Atlanta, ATL. Oh, I'm on live. Sorry, give me a minute. So literally, we're working together at the ATL, and T hits me up and was like, yo, sis, I need to rent a spot from you. Sis, I need to rent a spot from you. And I said, word, because I had a big house in Atlanta. Kelvin knows. Kelvin, always, he's here on Instagram tonight. I tell you, I got backup. It's funny because I just told you a little about my past, and Kelvin like reappeared out of nowhere, okay? So sis, he's like, sis, I need to rent a spot from you. I was like, I got you. Let me make this extra bread though. Let's work together. We can the same job. Everybody go home together. Y'all got your spot at the house. I got my spot. It's all Gucci. And out of everybody that rented for me, Kelvin, my brother, my gutter brother, in West End, we weren't living in the West End. Oh my God, where was my house? Westlake Ave. Down from Simpson, near Bankhead, where T.I. be at. Guess what? He was the only one that paid me.
Wow.
And I could talk about it publicly because he's right here. When I tell you God don't forget his children, so whatever's going on in the streets, right? Some of our guys be getting shot up and going through stuff or whatever. But for whatever reason, Kelvin and I always reconnect. And that's brother right there. And now Kel got 3 beautiful kids stunting on these people. One of them named King. Come on now, I don't forget. Beautiful. And when it's time for us to reconnect, it's gonna be nothing but love as always. Mm-hmm. So I had to share that publicly because for somebody out there that sometimes feels like, if I do good, is anybody gonna recognize it? Yes. Of course. If I love, is anybody going to recognize it? Yes. It may not come in the blessing format that you want, but God never forgets, and he never forgets your seed as well. So with that being said, Kelvin said, West Side, let me tell you. He said, I'm always gonna find you. He always finds you, girl. And sis, I told you a little bit. I gotta tell people, I used to smoke mad weed. I used to be out here popping and twerking and stuff. I tell people all the time, don't think I'm one of these little angels, because when the truth comes out, when the videos come out, you know, because you never know, people got videos for days.
Oh my God.
Kel, you already know, bro. He was wild. But anyway, you see how he came back after 20 years, right? He found me after 20 years. I haven't seen dude in 10 years, but we're going to see each other face to face soon. We're going to take a trip to the ATL. I was just talking to my sister about 5 points. I was just talking to her about Atlanta. I was just telling her about me, because a lot of times people look at me like, some goody. No, I'm not. Praise the Lord. Let's do some of these comments, sis. And if you have anything to share, we could do that right now, sis, because we got these comments that are flooding us.
I just want to add one more thing too. You know, parents, you know, like now, like we're living in these trying times, because that's what they are. But please keep that open door policy with your kids. Make them, like I said, make them feel comfortable and come in to talk to, and ask them, did such and such make you feel uncomfortable? Like,
has anybody ever touched you? You could talk to me.
Yeah.
The key words, you can talk to me. Don't be afraid to talk to mommy. Or before anything even goes down, you better tell me who up here trying to touch you, because I will. That's how I'm gonna be talking to my son. Listen, bro, don't get afraid. Never be afraid. So real quick, we have my sister Lakeisha next, who says, we need collective consciousness as it relates to our ancestral culture to propel us. Go ahead, scholar Black woman street. Our culture should be a compass as we navigate politics, community organizing, etc. We need a collective base to lift us up. Yes, we do. Sometimes it starts with trying to form inappropriate relationships with children, like a family friend calling a young child best friend and using the best friend card to build that trust. Whoa. Oh,
Girl, see, you hit that right on the nose when you said that they weasel their way in, because that's how it starts. It starts by a family friend or either a family member, somebody that they're kind of sort of familiar with. It doesn't, oftentimes start off with a stranger. Whoever wrote that comment, who wrote that comment?
Keisha Nix, who has
Keisha, like, you listen, girl, you the MVP. You is all right with me, sis.
All right. I'm telling you, she got 20 kids. She know. That sister right there. And she's gorgeous, sis. With all these babies running around. I can't wait to meet these twins. Oh my God. I can't wait to squeeze their cheeks. Oh my God. So sis, keep writing in because she is so brilliant. Like her mind is just like, and I gotta tell you about Keisha, like she goes through trauma, but she keeps fighting back. I love her. That's my little sis right there from day one.
Listen.
Love her. Sister Sandy's watching Cinderella. Oh my God, my Cinderella is on tonight. She says, happy birthday, beautiful. Thank you, sis. Judith Noreen is sending us mad hearts.
I know Judith.
Pamela Clark. Pamela, you have not sent in your message yet. Please send in that message. But she said she is in. I guess she's listening so hard. She just said, I'm here. Hello. I still have a whole thing to say, but she is listening. And I know she is being touched right now because Pamela Clark and us have the same spirit and has the same heart. She loves her children and she loves the community. And she has been through trauma herself. And she could tell you some stories, honey. Sister Pam, don't play with us out here. Just on guard. Oh, she said not 20. I love it. Talking about Lakeisha Nix. Sis, I swear she got 20 kids, but her and her siblings, they are, I love them. Like they're all beautiful and they love to have children and I'm here for it. Sis, I just had my first kid at 39. So anybody that's having these babies and procreating and doing it the right way, I'm here for it. With a husband, with a strong Black man on your side, like what? This is what you call a model behavior that we all follow.
It's called a union. You understand? It's definitely called a union.
You, sis, don't play with me. Don't play. I love you, sis. You already know. She said, I love it, though. I love it. Oh, wait, real quick. Pamela Park from Cheetahwaga, Buffalo. She always emphasizes where she's from, and I love that. She says, just be on guard. We are wrestling with the powers who govern this world of darkness.
Girl.
Sis, talk about that.
And that's why I call politicians liars.
Liars. I call them politricks.
I call them liars because at the end of the day, you come into the community like every 4 years just to say what you got to say. You try to convince Black people or people of color, like you're going to do this and you're going to do that, and you do absolutely nothing. You get that seat because, Black people are foolish enough to vote them in put them in that seat. And they do absolutely nothing.
Absolutely not.
So, girl, you on this. You on point.
On point, sis. We do this.
Girl, we don't want to get into the spiritual because I'm spiritual, girl.
Get into it, sis. Go ahead and say a piece about that.
All right, Pamela, let me give you a perfect example of the spiritual form. Today we was at the meeting, right?
Thank you.
And so
let me, I'll be back. Tell the story. I'm coming back.
So Pamela, we was at the meeting today, right? And I noticed that when the guy was talking, like certain things would happen. So, he was talking and then like the poster fell off the wall, the one with his name on it. And then a few minutes later, another poster with his name fell off the wall. So I text Anaya, I was like, you pay attention to them posters that's falling off the wall. She's like, what? I said, pay attention to it. I said, those are your ancestors. They talk to you and they may not talk to you verbally where you can hear them, but they talk to you in signs and wonders.
Signs and wonders, because them signs kept falling off and we were wondering why.
I wasn't wondering why. I knew. Your ancestors, they let you know that these people is full of it.
Wait, sis,
I pay attention.
Wait, didn't that sign fall off while I was speaking or when he was trying to answer me?
No, the sign fell off after you spoke because when he answered, it said, don't play with me.
Wow, because I seen it, but I was like,
I pay attention to everything. You know, I'm a spiritual being. Like, I pay attention to the birds. I pay attention to the trees. I pay attention to weather.
all of it. All of it, .com and .net, sis, because when that thing fell off, I said, wait. Because then I started to get emotional at the same time because he kept pressing me for more information and his sides kept falling off. And I'm like, am I imagining what's happening here? Like,
Wow.
what is you trying to feed me right now, sir? But I'm gonna act like, because at the end of the day, you know, we have to be very careful because Sister Pam said it and she just opened up that whole thing, that narrative about energy and spirituality. And what people don't understand is we are surrounded by negative energy. And a lot of times I talk about the Bible, but not in the sense of these pastors and things of that nature. I believe it's a believe in something before leaving earth, basic instructions before leaving earth. That's the acronym for the Bible. So back it up because we talk about this all the time, sis. We're about to be here for a few more minutes because everything is going to shut down when we talk about this part. Sis, let's just be here for another 10 minutes. We're going to give it to them and then we're going to leave. Are y'all ready for this? Hey, brother, how are you, my love?
You're going to get me in trouble.
Tonight is the night for us to be in trouble. Then we can have some wine after. With our nice new flasks, because we got some flasks today and we're gonna be sexy drinking on this wine. Okay, we just turned water to wine, so whatever. So real quick, we're gonna talk about this part, sis. I want you to tell me clearly, when we talk about the Bible and people sitting here worshiping the Bible, who wrote that thing or edited it?
Wow. A lot of people don't know, like, you know, they're so far-fetched on the Bible and the origin of, you know, just reading it, not really even understanding what they're reading. You know, the truth be told, like a gay man wrote that Bible. You can Google it, you can look it up. And people want to argue with me. I was like, I just don't understand how this gay man wrote the Bible and telling people how to live a straight and narrow life. Like, make it make sense. Like, listen, y'all don't want me to go there. Y'all don't want me to go there.
So he edited the Bible and he was gay and drunk at the time, but we're not supposed to be gay or drunk.
Yeah. So we're not supposed to do all of these other things that make us beings. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let me tell you, I've been every religion that you can think of. I've been every religion. And guess what? I found out, like, with me connecting with my ancestors is what works for me. Yeah. And then when I did the research on this guy that wrote the Bible, and come to find out he had a boyfriend, I'm like, this is contradictory right now. You know, you're telling me you're being one way, but then you're telling me how to live another way. Like, you know,
make it make sense.
Make it make sense, sis.
Sis, have you ever had anybody attack your...
I love you, Pamela. I really do, because we here. I'm sorry. I was reading the comments.
Read the comments, because Pam ain't playing with y'all either. She knows and she talks about everything. That's why I'm happy she's here tonight. So in regards to you and the issues or the people that you've been in interaction with, have they attacked your stance on that whole thing that you just shared? Because I asked that real quick because you know people like Judith, you know, we just said her name and everything like that. These are people in the church. They're chaplains, right? And then I have pastors and people that have literally tried to fight me and stuff off of some of the stuff I say. But I'm like, I literally know from according to the Bible that the earth is ran by a dark force and somebody named Satan, that God gave control to this earth. And why would he even do that if we're supposed to be finding him in paradise, right? And I feel like paradise should be here because truth be told too, the Bible has been so misconstrued. And one of the reasons it has been, it's been for other sectors and other ethnicities and groups like betterment. Whereas we're taught to wait to go to heaven to receive the silver and gold. Well, as they steal the silver and gold right from under our feet, because as we know, I'm doing some scriptures right now. Hold on.
And then you have to understand with this whole thing with religion, like I'm just going to jump right into it. This whole thing with religion is that it's a control thing. It's like, for me, it's like a cult thing, because I don't understand how you go to work 9 to 5 every day during the week, but then they want you to give 10% of your money to that pastor who drives around in Rolls Royces, Benz, and all that other stuff while you're at the bus stop waiting for the bus. You know, when they say give 10%, 10% could be your time, 10% could be clothing, 10% can be you feeding the homeless. Like, with that whole concept of that. And what I realized is that back in the slavery days, the religion, the Christianity thing was used to keep us in line. And if you notice that when you are following that rhetoric, you don't grow. You don't grow. How come all these other people that are making millions and billions of dollars, let's talk about that. They're making that much money, and it's because they went their own direction. And I'm not saying that they don't believe in God. They do. However, they was like, I'm not going to follow this rhetoric where I have to be still.
Because at the end of the day, and you know what? Kel just said it. Better boy, my dude, my brother just said it. He said, but no matter who wrote it or whatever, but if you truly seek the creator, he will remove the veil and speak directly to you. And that's the point. Because at the end of the day, like, there's so much darkness in this world, but how do we keep avoiding the problems? It's because we be seeking truth. We speak truth to knowledge, we give back. And like you said, that tithing don't necessarily have to go like that 10% or what have you. It could be of our time, it could be giving back, it could be service, because God wants a humble heart anyway. So here's the thing too, I know for a fact that even though the Bible was written by man, the first 5 books of the Bible actually is the same as the Torah, which is the Jewish book. The one that they go by that's so traditional, even though we're not supposed to be traditionalists. So
talk about it, sis. Talk about it. Because when I talk about it, people don't hear me. You know, I got people around me that are just stuck on the whole, I call it molding of the Christianity.
Oh, wait, we said it earlier, grooming. All grooming.
And it's just a whole bunch of cult-like behavior when you're in a religion, because it's telling you, you can't do this, you can't do that. I was Pentecostal for years. So guess what? We wasn't allowed to wear makeup. We wasn't allowed to wear wigs. We wasn't allowed to shave our legs. We had to wear skirts and dresses past our needs. And, and it was crazy. And I remember being young and being kept in the church until 5:30, from 8 in the morning to 5:30 in the afternoon. No breaks. We had to sit there, and the pastor felt like, I'm gonna release y'all when I want to release y'all. That authoritative figure right there did not sit well with me. And I've never been Pentecostal ever since. I was like, I'm off of this.
Off of it. Because it really messed with your spirit. Unlike some people are still there trapped in that space. And honest to God, I've dealt with scenarios like that. I don't even want to go through that whole litany. But real quick, people, sac passe, shade, cocotte. He says that he loves us. We love you too, people. We
love you.
Love you so much. He says we're so cute, and I'm here for that. People, we love you so much. It's a thing that happens in our communities, and a lot of times the people that are the most brainwashed, in my mind and in my opinion, are those literally seeking for truth, are literally seeking for something bigger than them. And just like my brother said, Kel, like at the end of the day, we need to just pray for them that they're released from that mental slavery that they're in, because there's so much freedom out there. And one of the things that people have to understand is that the freedom that we get to experience is much better than that slavery mentality where we have to be listening to others, right? And a lot of times this can go across the board. And of course, another night we'll do more different topics, like, because there's so many different ways people could be enslaved. If it's not financial, it's emotional. If it's not emotional, it's physical, and we are actually, which is interesting, I just remembered, we're still in the month of October, which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, right? And you're excited about something. So hold on, let me finish this thought, and then you could just whatever. So we're in Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So talking about enslavement, talking about this, being abused, a lot of times women especially are abused, but men can be abused as well. But even the church can be abusive. And we just seen a situation, which I think we should dedicate a whole night to the bishop. He's not no damn bishop. Whitehead. One night, let's discuss Whitehead. I feel like God is calling me. Shut up. God is for us to talk about Whitehead one of these nights before domestic violence month is over. But go ahead, sis, because you're excited.
Yeah, I am 51 shares. But anyway, I wanted, I definitely wanted to, I can't do it tonight, but I definitely want to talk about my experience as far as being a battered woman and in a battered relationship. I'm not going to do it tonight. You know, I'll talk to you off camera about it, but I do want to share my story, and I want to share how I escaped and how I got out of it. Because, you know, people feel like because they're in that situation that they can't go anywhere, and you can, but we're gonna see that. So crazy? It's domestic violence month, but I want to share that story before the month is out.
Because you've made it out, and you need to be of an encouragement to others, especially women who sometimes feel like they can't make it out. Like certain sisters we see that are so public, but we know behind closed doors, a lot of times they're not happy. They're being abused and they need a way out. So we just want to say, thank God that we're going to be talking about this. I just remembered as we were speaking, and I want us to have that conversation maybe this next week. So let's try to shoot for next week, and we will figure out a day and time. Let's talk off camera on how we can make it happen. And if anybody else, you know, I'm just getting so I don't know the word. I feel like, you know, God allowed me overwhelmed, right? But in a happy way, because I've been doing this platform, and it makes me encouraged when I know that others have stories that they want to share. And this is why I was sharing today during that meeting, by the way, that I have connections with over 500,000 people, and my platform is to help and is to give, and that's all I do. And look at how we're talking, and this conversation has brought you forward to say, I want to be able to share my story. And in you sharing your story, you will heal another person. And I don't want to just say woman, because men go through domestic violence as well. Believe it or not, for those that are watching, like, ain't no man I know, you'd be surprised.
Yes. Oh, they do. And you know, those be the men that don't want to fight back, that are not confrontational, you know, and it's like they get stuck too.
They get stuck too. And you know what? With that said, let's leave it with that, because we're going to come back and you'll see Trina Nicole again live on the Anaya A Show, where we get to talk about becoming unstuck. How about that? And for those that tuned in tonight, thank you for your support. Sis, where can people find you if they want to support you, if they want to be a part of what you got going on? Look at Pamela Clark as we're about to shut it down. I love you, sis. She says they're not getting all my money. Sis, when I tell you I love my sister, I love this woman named Pamela Clark. I gotta breathe before I read her comments sometimes, because she be having me rolling. I'm trying to be professional, sis. Okay. They're not getting all my money. I'm reading it how she would say it too. I work double on these jobs. Shape. S, she put S period. H period. A period.
A period. P period. E period.
Break it down. Spirit, heart, abilities, personality, experience. Then you will learn to know God's will for you. Thank you, sis.
Amen. That was beautiful, Pamela.
She's a beautiful sister.
I love her.
I love her too. That's
all right with me, Pamela.
And you know, she's a Libra as well. So she celebrated her birthday just a few weeks ago. So thank you, sister.
Hey, happy birthday. Yeah. Guys, you guys can find me, Trina Nicole on Facebook, and you guys can also find me on Instagram as Miss Logic, MIZZLOGIC.
Absolutely, sister. And sister, tell the people what you do, because they're probably wondering why Naya so hyped up about her sister, Trina Nicole. Tell them about the work you do, sis, please, and thank you.
Well, I'm an advocate. I've been an advocate for years. My advocacy started with Khalif Browder, because his story was just so powerful for me. And I was like, listen, something is not right with the system. And then I did my research, and that's a whole nother story with the system and systematic oppression. That's a whole nother story. I also have a business called Creative Hands, where I make body butter, soap, oils, lotions, and that stuff.
I
Uh,
love and amazing.
And I used to be a pre-K educator, but that's a whole nother story. But I love the kids.
He loves it. Look, her nephew King loves her too. That boy, he sees her and he's like, "Hi," in his little baby language. Sis says she can't wait to meet you, sis.
I love it.
Here's another thing. Y'all get connected on social media for sure. Real quick before we shut down, I just remembered last year, the last time I was on the stage with Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton at the National Action Network. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Pamela Clark, my sister, somebody was from your city running for office. I have to go get the footage again, but I'm gonna inbox you because Sister Pamela, I don't know if this woman made it. Her name was Walton. If I'm not mistaken, her name was Walton, and I believe she was running for mayor in Buffalo. I hope that I have the right city, and I hope I'm correct in my thought process that it was Buffalo. Sometimes I get these communities mixed up, but let me know if she did happen to win, Sister Pamela, because she sat on the stage with me and she spoke at the National Action Network that same day, and Sharpton wrecked the stage and said, "I know a Walton. He owns Walmart, but this Walton, she." I know I love me some Rev. So let me tell you, don't laugh, please. That's Rev. I could let Rev hear that because I got him down. I can tell you how Rev sound. I know a sister, Walton. Don't play with me, Biden. Yo, my dude was going in that day.
Oh my goodness.
And by the way, before I share this last thing, I need y'all to know, I need somebody to help me edit some videos real quick to get on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram because somebody gave me good advice. Says you laughing. I swear, because I had to watch that again because that was the day I spoke on Nan's stage for the rally that morning. It was September 25th. I'll go back. I'm gonna send it to you. She was gay and she voted. Oh, they voted for Mayor Brown. She was gay. I didn't even know she was a lesbian. She might have been feminine because I didn't even know because she was a masculine gay person. But oh my God, let's talk offline. But I have the right city. It was Buffalo. But I say that to say Rev shut that thing down. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't never heard Rev go off on Biden the way he did that day because of the Haitian immigrants and the issues that were taking place. So I had to go back and watch and listen because I was on stage that day and I recalled like Sharpton really went in on Biden that day. But then when I was going back, I literally was like, oh shoot, that sister was running for mayor in Pamela City in Buffalo. So that's why I put that together. But either way, Rev wrecked it, boy.
Listen.
He wrecked that day. So
you know what too? Like Biden needs that because he came into our communities and he swindled and you know, this whole vice president lady, like, yeah.
Let me tell you something. Let's not talk about politics tonight. We have to have a good night. And it's hard for me to have a good night after I talk about certain things because I get so infuriated. I was just on the phone with one of my media friends. Let me tell you something. We are going through such hard times right here in America. I know where you're going with this. And yet they want to continue to give money to other countries while we have homelessness here, while we have issues with health care, while we have, you know, crime and everything else. But our money is going right to Ukraine. And I keep telling y'all Black people, I ain't never met an Afghani and I ain't never met a Ukrainian. So listen here, Biden do better. And Sharpton, thank you for getting up on that stage last year on September 25th and letting Biden know that you ain't his boy. And thank you for your work, Miss Pamela Clark, for letting me know that, yes, I wasn't wrong. It was Walton who ran for office back last year, but she apparently did not win that seat. But that's okay. Maybe she'll run again. Sister Pam says she's a great human being, and I'm happy to hear that. So with that being said, we covered all the bases for tonight. And again, tomorrow is my birthday. So happy birthday, girl and I.
Happy birthday!
Thank you, boo. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Thank you for my present. I'm gonna wait till I get home to open it so I can take pictures in it because it was a long, sis.
You get on my nerve.
We had a great day. We had a great day. We always have a great day. For all those that are tuned in, thank you so much. We appreciate every single comment, concern. We appreciate all the love. To Sister Keisha, you know you don't have 20 kids, but if you want to have 20 kids, I help you babysit. I love you. I love the babies. They're beautiful.
I'll help you babysit.
Trina will help you babysit because Trina loves the kids. We love the kids over here. Literally, like her family is just so, I love them so much. And all her siblings are just beautiful. And of course, offline, I'll tell you more about how we met. And then I want to interview Lakeisha Nix on this show as well. If anybody else wants to be interviewed, or if you have a product that you want to talk about, as you can see, I love sharing about the community and all the beautiful products that we have in our communities. And I also love just sharing our stories and empowering our people. So please, if you have a story that you want to share, there you go. Creative Hands. The body butters and the lotions are right there, as you can see for yourself. Get at your girl, Miss Trina Nicole, and make sure you get you some body butter. We're at 39 comments this evening, and it's so funny because sometimes I can't see all the comments. So if you sent in a comment and I didn't get a chance to read it tonight, feel free to cuss me out in my inbox, y'all, because I did not see all the 39 comments, but we have 51 shares. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for loving us. And thank you for being a part of tonight's platform.
Thank you.
Thank you, sis. And you will be back next week, right, to share your story and to help empower the women and the men?
Yes. Because my story is for everyone. It's just not for women.
Absolutely. And that body butter, you found it and it feels good on your hands.
And it smells good.
I know. I have some. And Pamela Clark said we both look good. I'm not gonna even play a song to end us tonight because we've been here for quite some time. But again, I love each and every one of you. Judith, we love you, sis. You're a chaplain. You are amazing. For all those people, I mean, Kelvin Gutta, my baby, from the ATL, man, 20 years in, yo, like I have long relationships with people that I love. So for everybody that watched and that supported this evening, I love you all. Have a blessed night. Don't forget to say happy birthday to me tomorrow. And we're doing the 40 for 40. If you want to donate $40 to your girl and I for her birthday, I am working on that women's health documentary. And I do need as much support as possible as we get everything signed up and written up and get my ideas together and legal paperwork done. So that's what we're working on now. 40 for 40. You can Zelle us at 347-617-6873. I am somebody that has everything in black and white. If you want to see where the money's going to be going, let your girl know. To all my people that are born on tomorrow, happy birthday in advance. I'll play a birthday song tomorrow at some time for all of you. And now I gotta go. Bye-bye, my people. Thank you, sis. Love you.
Love you.
Good night. All right, guys, we did it. Good night, everybody.